Hello, welcome to the Scientific Investor channel. As always, we have a lot of news, other updates, then the Twitter posts, then we'll look at different time frames of charts for XRP, BTC, Litecoin, Stellar, Ethereum, and all. Then we'll discuss about some of the recent Twitter posts, the new informations which we are getting now. So stay up to date. We'll start with the chart analysis. First, as usual, we'll go with XRP, the most favorite coin of, at least my most favorite coin. And this is the 1 hour time frame. We have 3 moving averages in this. 20-day moving averages in blue, 50-day moving average in red, and 200 in yellow. So now, personally, in 1 hour chart, I actually see head and shoulder pattern coming up, and that's a potential head and shoulder, because this is in 1 hour chart. I'm not sure how much it will be working, but still we are getting that pattern. So if we manage to break higher, so if we see the top, we can actually plot it like this. Say the expected move upside should be the measured move from here. So if it manages to do that, then it will come up high. But if it's not doing that, and if it is going down, say it's crossing this area, then you guys should be careful. If you're trading this market, you should be keeping your stop loss somewhere here. Otherwise it can move down. As we know, when others move up high, we just move down. But it's XRP, brother. There is a lot of utility in that. So in a longer time frame, it may move up high. Depends on whether you are an investor or a trader. Sorry guys, I just have a bit of cold today and I'm not feeling that well. But anyway, let's move on with our topic. As we discussed previously, we actually break down through this trend line. We retested that, we came back down. But at this particular time, we are getting a head and shoulder. That can be a reversal, so we can actually come back within this range. So previously we just checked about the measured move, it comes around 0.28, but in order to get back into the triangle, we should be somewhere around 0.28, 0.29 to validate that. Now if we look at it in a bit zoomed out way, then we can actually see in a longer time frame, it is actually making a different pattern. More or less a similar pattern, I will say, like that of 1 hour chart. Say I'll look at this like, you can look at this like this. It is forming this, or you can make it like this. So if it actually completes that, then it looks better. So you can actually connect the tops like this. It may be like this. That's also looking a bit valid for me, because it actually came till that level once, twice, thrice. So the point is more or less valid there. Now this trend line, if acting as a resistance, can still be there. It's still valid, say 0.3. So if we manage to come up and we are not breaking 0.3, then that's again a bad symbol. But if we do manage that, if we do break that, we can just see how many percentage is there from the bottom to the top of that. That's 40%. So if we actually measure 40% from this breakout at this particular area, I'm not sure whether that will happen from that area, but say we can measure it there. So we are anyway going to go above 0.4. Because I just stopped there. I don't think it's because of any technical issue, but you can see 0.37 to 0.4 is overhead resistance. It was acting as a resistance previously many times, and a support just before this cycle. So I'm sure it can actually take some time to break that. But if the volume is coming up like this area, and we had resistance all over here, we just blew off, right? Because we had all the moving averages correcting, cutting, crossing to the upside. So in this particular case, if we zoom in and look at what our moving averages are doing, we can see that the 200-day moving average was coming down, down, down. It is still sloping down, I agree, completely agree. But at this particular point, this is slowly turning into a more or less positive direction for us. Say it is gonna make a rounded bottom, slowly move up. Yeah, it may take time. Now we zoom out a bit on the daily time frame. Again, it's similar. We actually discussed about that in the last video, so I won't actually repeat the same. Instead, we can just go into Bitcoin in USD. This trend we talked about in our previous video. Again, I won't repeat the same again. Instead, we'll look at what's going on at this particular time. We'll say look at 30 minutes chart, then 1 hour chart and 4 hours chart to see what is actually happening. So in the 30 minutes chart, you can see this support line is actually changed into a resistance, and it is still below that. We haven't managed to go up, and 200-day moving average is acting as a resistance now. Now if we look at a 1 hour chart, we just came above 20 and 50-day moving average. We bounced once, we are bouncing the second time. So if we do manage to do that, then there is a possibility that we may reach around 9,000. That's in 1 hour chart. So we zoom a little bit out, look at 4 hour time frame, try to get what is going on, right, to understand what is happening there. Now this area you can see is acting as a support. Now this area was a resistance but turned into a support right now, and we are above that support right now. So this is still valid. So this red line is indicating where the price is currently, and we can see that's above this previous resistance. So that's clearly acting as a support. And in 4 hours, as you can see, the yellow, which is 200-day moving average, is acting as a support. So if it managed to go back above both 20 and 50-day moving average, then the price can actually break upside. And if you are looking into Bitcoin to buy in, I'll say you can actually trade this market, it's okay, but with a bit of caution. Say you're buying the breakout or the retest, it's okay, but at any particular point you should actually keep your stop losses in place, because this is crypto. You don't know when it's gonna come crashing down, so you have to be prepared, right? So if you're like high risk investor, so you can put your and long time frame, you can put your stop loss somewhere here, or you can put it below this low, below this to average. Now that's my opinion. If I'm trading the market, I would be trading like that. It's not like I'm a financial advisor, but that's my opinion for this particular asset. Now we can actually look at Ethereum and the same time frame. So in 4 hour time frame for Ethereum compared to other coins, I feel a bit bullish, because as we talked yesterday, it was actually making higher lows and creating a new pattern, say a triangle here, which we just can say like if you plot it, like different analysts plot it in a different way, but more or less it looks like a bull flag or a bull pennant. And the price is actually above all the moving averages, which I'm using, like 20, 50 and 200-day moving average. So if the price manage to reach 192 and break that, the expected move will be high, say 207, 210 in that area. Say if we measure this move from here and take it to the expected area, we can see around 210. So if you measure that, like we just saw in price, right? So if we measure that in percentage from the breakout, it will be more or less around 9-10%. That's not a bad move, right? Yeah, in a couple of months it's not a bad move, but yeah, this is crypto and you guys are expecting much high return. But you should actually also take into account that where you are in this market cycle, because we just started the first rally, we came back. Yeah, I know we discussed that in the previous video. We were talking about the hope rally, like we were waiting for a hope rally. We are still there. We just completed the disbelief rally, I believe. So I actually explained all those in my previous video. If you guys want to go to that, I think you will get more clear picture about that. So now we'll look at XLM, because it recently pumped a bit high during their currency burn. But after which they are correcting back. But still, the rounded bottom which we discussed in last video is still staying valid. And the patterns which we discussed about in previous video for weekly time frame and all is still valid. Because today we are actually looking at the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour chart, it looks more or less the same. It is still flirting with the averages, say 20 and 50. So I believe it's making again a bull pen. So if you zoom in a bit and look at 1-hour time frame, you can see that it's still within that. If you try to connect the tops here, you may get again a channel or a triangle, depending upon how you're gonna plot that. So I'm considering this as a support, this as a resistance, and this as a support again. So if you plot this as a channel, then yes, it is making a new pattern. So if the price is able to break from this point, then yes, it can break above the previous highs. So now we'll also look at ChainLINK in USD. So as we just talked about our previous assets, you can see there is a rounded bottom forming for this particular asset. After that, it blew up high, it corrected a bit, it consolidated there, tried to break. But what you have to look is, this is 1-hour chart and it actually made a head and shoulder here, but the price didn't actually go down. Instead, it's actually going up high. So for me, when I'm looking at that, I'll chart it like this. Say there is a resistance at that area, and if you plot it like this, you can see a triangle there. So if you're actually going to measure or move upside, you can actually expect something like this. Yet not all the time it happens till the top, but you can expect say 60 to 70% of this. So you can expect something around 3.4, 3.6. But do mind keeping your stop losses in place. I won't say to keep tight stop loss in this particular area, whereas you can keep it below this range, so that if it come back to this trading range and follow the pattern, you are stopped out. But if you are a long term, you believe in the asset, the project, then you can put your stop loss somewhere here or even below. But that's completely up to you. If I were to do that, I were to trade this asset, I would be putting inside the pattern here instead of here. Yeah, I'm a long term investor, but not for this particular asset. I'm a long term investor for XRP, BTC, it's okay. And even Ether, not that long, but yeah, I'll be waiting for 1 to 2 years again. Now we can actually look at different news. Now the news is mostly concentrating on Ripple, XRP, and then we'll look some about the general market like BTC, Ether and all. So first, Ripple versus PayPal, supporters spark debate on Twitter. Now yeah, this will be happening, right? This is Ton Ways, you all guys know about him, right? He's not that up for XRP, because you see this, wake me up when XRP is faster than PayPal. Until then, it is not only slower but has an extra advantage of exchange risk plus price volatility risk. I personally don't understand what this guy is thinking. You know, if even you are a 5th standard boy, like I'm an Indian, so if I'm comparing it with the educational standards of my country, if you're from even a better country, I think you'll have even more ability to do the math. So if you are at least good in math, using even a calculator, take the time and the volatility. Like volatility is the change of price in a time frame, right? And if you want to take a look at the total cost, I'll personally say, buddy, you are so wrong. What you have to do is check the price movements in a particular time frame, and then the total cost expended on that particular transfer. So use PayPal. Personally, it's been at least 2 months, but still, it usually takes around 2 to 3% as a fees. Yeah, I do use PayPal. I agree that I'm a trader in eToro exchange and others, in which I deposit using PayPal for some. And they actually, while depositing, it's okay. But when I'm taking out my profit, if I have to send it to someone else, that payment costs me more, like 2%, 3%. And that's also high. Yeah, comparing the financial institutions like bank, I agree, it's not that high when the banks are taking from 6 to 8 percentage. This is better. But brother, if you can put your money into even better asset like XRP and pay even less, much less, why should you worry about that? And if you are thinking about something saying the price volatility risk, brother, again, volatility is calculated based on the price movement of a particular time frame. You have to add all those. And if you're looking at PayPal, yeah, I agree, look at them, they test the transaction in seconds. I agree that, but you have to see the transfer cost. Like, you're transferring, say, USD to one of your friend in Mexico or Thailand or somewhere else where there is a possibility where you can compare both. And check, if you're sending $1,000, how much is that guy receiving there and what is the fee you're paying. After that, if you can analyze that like a 5-year-old, a 5th standard guy, do that and come to a conclusion. Then what he says is, but the moment you can be faster than PayPal, you will only be shittier than them in 2 ways instead of 3. Either way, BTC, don't care. This is the problem with these guys. I'm not against BTC. I still believe that's becoming a more and more store of value because of countries like, say, Venezuela and other countries where the fiat currencies are breaking in pieces. So that's okay. If you read this post, that's from here, and people still think BTC is king. Okay, let them think. It's okay, right? When Brad Garlinghouse talks about digital assets, he actually mentions about previous revolution of internet. So in that, he actually talk about, say, there was Napster and other technologies, but at the end, the government has to come in, put restrictions, blah blah blah, and we all know who became the king. So there will always be something like this, who came up with the idea of blockchain, the decentralized currency and all. But there are drawbacks like the electricity which is taken, the cost, time, blah blah blah. So anyway, this one is crypto Twitter, a boon or bane for eToro's Thai long only crypto portfolio. Like, I don't care, because, say, personally, I am someone who uses eToro, and it's been around 2.5 years or more in the platform, and I'm personally satisfied with them. If there is some issue, you can actually call their account managers. You can just open a ticket. They will get back to you soon, depending upon the time frame. Say, I'm from South Korea, right now in South Korea, and if I'm opening a ticket, they will reply in their time frame, but that's not much different, right? We all have only 24 hours, so within that they'll come to you with a reply. Now all these Twitter war and all is actually okay, it's just opinion of different people, right? So I don't think digging much inside is of benefit there. Now this one is actually big. It's actually big. Now the side is from Alex Cobb, the XRP Daily. So in this, Ripple confirms Uber, Airbnb, Google visits, rapid adoption with regulation. That's the main thing. These guys, when they talk about BTC and others, they don't care about regulation, whereas it's our guys. You see here, Brad? Our guys from Ripple who are working with the regulators, with the governments, with the central banks. So yes, retail investors are a source at present for digital assets. But once the central banks come into play, yeah, it will be more or less stable. But like, look at this stock market, it also goes up high, then corrects back 50%. So correcting 50-60%, it's not that bad. If you look at the previous run up high of silver, I think it went around 49, and it came back down till around 12, 13 or 14 something. So if we look at 60-70% of correction is normal in traditional financial asset. So why are you actually, most of them, complaining that crypto is volatile, when this guy is stating here the price volatility risk? You should actually look at the price volatility risk of Bitcoin when it was doing early age of Bitcoin. So it's the same for XRP now and other currencies. So if you actually are interested, this is a tweet from at XRP_sweat. You can hear that. So in that they actually states, like, they announced some of their partners, say 300. Now they still haven't announced around 50%, so that's another 300. So they are stating that at the bottom, if you look at that, they are actually concluding, say the 50% is still announced, and this can be major players who still have that non-disclosure agreements. So they don't want to bump the market in such a way that they won't afterwards get an opportunity to buy XRP at a lower price. Now this one is MoneyGram incorporates Ripple Sodial in the exotic market, says Marjan Delantin. We actually have a lot of videos of Marjan Delantin in YouTube itself. So if you guys haven't heard them, I suggest you guys can listen to that. It provides more information about Ripple the company, and comparing the traditional assets, because she was from Swift. She had a lot of networks ties with other reputed individuals of the traditional financial industry. Now this one, Ripple partner and early XRP adapter Neum, working with Visa to power cross-border payments. Now we all know how big is Visa, right? They have entire world in connection, right? They have their network all over. Like personally, I'm using a Visa card, so yeah, the settlement and payment is different. When you're paying say into a shop, buying your groceries, the settlement doesn't occur at that particular second, right? So they can actually use on-demand liquidity to do that in seconds. That actually will reduce the cost. Okay, anyway, we will move on to the next one. I'll link that or all the articles in the description, so if you guys want to get into it, it'll be easy. If you guys want to read it entire, it's okay. Now 27.5 million of XRP was just sent to a market making firm. So 27.5 million worth of XRP, when we say that, yeah, it's a huge amount, but that's okay. Like comparing the total circulation, that's not that big. Yeah, it is big, I agree, but it's not that big. Now it is unclear which market making firm is a recipient of these funds, or whether Ripple team has specific XRP set aside for these kind of payments. Now they will be, because Ripple the company just had Swell conference, right? And this author is stating that Ripple's Swell conference ends quietly. Okay, if they feel it's quiet, announcing 300 partners and more than 2 dozen using XRP, traditional financial institutions using a cryptocurrency, if it's quiet for you, it's okay. At least it's not quiet for me. I believe Ripple the company is actually doing better things for the XRP, because say at the end of the day, they are the largest holder of XRP, right? So personally, I feel that it's also in their interest that XRP is valid and the price reaches new highs. Because think, when XRP reached all-time high last time, some individuals from Ripple like Chris Larsen were among the top wealthy individuals in the world, right? So it's in their best interest, even considering ours. Say I'm expecting 100% return, 200% return, 1000% return. They will be expecting 70,000, 80,000. So that's a big change in price. Now this article actually showcases, if you guys actually missed about Swell event, what they announced and all, then you guys can go through this particular article, which actually just summarizes what happened during that. Now this one is showing a bit of negative approach, showing that the bears are still there. Looking at the chart, see the price can move up high and then come back below the channel and test it. But as I explained previously, I see a rounded bottom somewhere here, like 3 of them, which makes it a head and shoulder for me. Because at the same time, the RSI is slowly popping up, so there is a chance. Now, different time frames. This is 60 minutes chart, that's 1 hour chart. So if you look back in 4 hour chart, it's a different story. Now that's all for today. We actually went through a lot of different articles and Twitter posts. So I'll actually link all these in the description. so it will be easy for you guys. Now it's being a long video, so I'll try to just roll over some of the Twitter posts. So this is from Mr. BXRP, then this one from Abel Suomi. I think I spelled it correct. It shows that VeChain is now the most public token. You know, I'm not an investor in VeChain, but what I'm saying is the use cases of digital assets are increasing day by day. Now this is from Grayscale. They are actually a big firm running the drop gold ad. Now they are stating that an introduction to XRP, because they know that the community looking at XRP is big. XRP has gained momentum among both financial institution and individual users. So that's the key. When these guys, you know, someone from the traditional financial institution and established institution is stating that has gained momentum among both financial institution and individual users. Okay, individual users, we know us, but about institutions, it's different, right? Say you are putting in your money, $1,000, $10,000, they will be coming in with millions. So that's a different story. Now you can see the holding share of this Grayscale. Say XRP is here, Grayscale XRP Trust is here. You can actually look that. Now, if they are spending their time on this particular asset, they believe there is something in that which is gonna make it valid. Now, this article actually shows you that Ripple banks are gonna actively implement XRP. I don't think they have another choice, because if there is a liquidity crunch which is happening right now, then yeah, obviously they don't have another option. You know, they can actually take back their money from Nostro Vostro accounts and then use it, because if they need liquidity, they don't have any other choice. So guys, I'll actually put all these in my description, so if you guys want to look at it, then yes, you guys can take your time. So with this, I'm ending my video here. I'm sorry for taking this long. I didn't actually thought about making a video this long. This will be the longest of among my videos. So if you guys like my content, please do like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, please do comment in the comment section. I'll try to account that too. So bye for this time, and we'll meet in the next video.